Today's travel tracker tip is about pulling a report down that will allow you to see day by day the number of trips, number of vehicles requested, and number of vehicles reserved. Now, the reason you might want to do this is to easily be able to see dates that might need to be blocked if there's a tremendous amount of activity. So I'm going to show you how we do this. This is a very quick video. So we're going to go over to from the travel tracker to the reports tab, and this should default you to the assignments trips. You're going to choose your year. I would typically just choose 1 year to do this, and then click export to Excel. Now, depending on the browser that you use, I'm using Chrome. That download will come to the bottom left of your browser, and you'll simply click to open it. If you're using Firefox or some other browser, there might be an indicator for the downloads in the upper right corner somewhere. All right, so I've already opened this just to make this quicker for us. I'm going to switch over to that, and typically you would come up to the assignments tab. It may take just a few minutes depending on the amount of data for your spreadsheet to refresh, and you can tell that it has because it's got the alternating blue and white rows when it completes. And so where we're going to go is over to the summary tab, the very last tab at the bottom. And this is a new tab that will already have your report here, and it will list day by day, sorted in ascending order. For each day, it will tell you the number of trips that are out there for this day, and this doesn't matter whether they're approved or not. These are just the total number of trips, the number of vehicles requested through those trips, and then the number of vehicles actually reserved for that day. Now, you'll notice that some of these are in red, and that's because of this cell at the top. So we can indicate which ones we want to highlight. So depending on the size of your district, for example, you might say, let me just see ones where we have over 30 vehicles requested for the day, and that would actually highlight those. And so I can scroll down and see that I have some that are over 30, and so I may want to particularly look at some of those dates. Like, for example, I can look at this one date, October 3rd in this case, that has 140 requested and 135 reserved. If that's a lot, you could actually go to the travel tracker and block that date. And so I'm going to show you how we do that. So let me switch back over to the travel tracker, and as an administrator, if you go into the setup tables, and there is a blocked date option, and I could actually create a new blocked date, and I can choose October 3rd, which was the date, and I can actually block that based on trip type. So if I wanted to block just field trips, I could potentially, and we could say too many vehicles reserved, and submit. And so what that will do, if somebody now tries to submit a trip on that particular date, it will block them and indicate why that's being blocked. And so now, as administrators, you guys can still enter trips for that. So you could have folks contact you if they need to do that date. So actually I could, on this description, I could say contact transportation for trips on this date. And so if you decide it's something they just have to go on, they can contact you, and you can actually, as an administrator, will be able to put trips even though that date is blocked. Okay, so that's our tip for the day. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much.